So when I look at the fire extinguisher, what should I guess? What should I be waiting for? When I'm listening to someone talking about there's a conversation about at the bank, I'm waiting for words like the guys at the bank, teller, I need some money, I need to deposit some money, withdraw some cash from my account, this and that. When I look at a fire extinguisher, what am I waiting to hear? I see there's the number 1, 2, 3, and 4, right? So I see this, for example, 1, filled with water, foam, 2, there's gas, something here. Then number 3, it's pointing to a handle here. Number 4, the nozzle gives off the gap, something. Like a stream of water, a shot of water, something of water, right? And number 5, I see water leaves through this what? Is it a tube? Like I'm waiting for a tube? Number 1, filled with water or foam. What is filled? Is a container filled?
No, tank.
Is the tank? Okay, tank or container. Number 2, I see a long something here. A long, is it a rod? Is it a pin? So these are the things I should guess. I should also know where the recording starts from. I should have a picture in my mind. Usually it follows 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Because they don't want to know whether or not you can jump from this part to that part. They usually want to know whether or not you can follow a process. So a process doesn't start from step 5, go back to 1, go to 2, go to 3. So remember, the diagrams, 2 important things. The process of a diagram. For example, if the diagram is about how a fire extinguisher actually works or operates, it's about how it works. Where it starts, the action, where the action starts, and where it ends. So it's in order. If it's about a factory building bricks, it may start from a truck carrying the raw material to the factory, and then the next step is, and then the next step is. So remember, you need to listen for the process, but before you listen, how do you pre-read the thing? You look at the shape, you decide where the beginning of this thing is. What am I going to hear first? So the recording is going to start here. And then you need to decide what kind of words you need for options 1, for actually the gaps 1, 2, for questions 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. And then you should not get lost with other words. The other words are only there to help you, guide you. The recording may also talk about other words. It starts. So you see, not every word is a question here. When you see, for example, look at the picture in your books, and you see that number 1 is the gap. But then gas here, that's not a gap. Right? It's giving you some information, which you will hear in the recording. Because the recording will talk about a process. And you will hear that, for example, first there's the container or the tank is filled with water, and then there's, of course, there's gas in a test tube shape, and then it's not a test tube, that's called gas cartridge, as we have down here. There's a gas cartridge here, and then this, and then that. So as it talks about the process, you should wait for the next one, which is yours. There's a long, for example, pin here. You also guess the word, and it goes on. So the other words that you see out there, they're all important. They're all part of a process. And the recording is actually describing this process. So you should first, you look at this shape. You decide where it starts, the process. You look at the process, first this, that. If you have a quick picture of the process in your mind, it helps you predict things in a better, easier fashion. Next, you see these words, you should guess. I'm number 2, oh, look at it. It could be a rod, because you already have the word spring. So is this a rod? Is this a pin? What is it? And then you already have lever. Number 3 could be a handle. What is that going to be? So you have this one. You already have spring. So how about this one? How about number 3? So number 3 could be like a handle. And then you come here, there's a lever. It's talking that they are using these words like lever. And then you see some shot of number 4, nozzle. Here's the nozzle. It gives off something of water. You should wait for like a noun, because a stream of water, a shot of water, a spray of water, what of water? And then number 5, water leaves through this. Again, we'll look at and we decide. So, the test tip here, according to the book, is the answers will come in question order on the recording. The question order is 1, 2, 3, 4, right? It will be the same order. Some test tips for you. This was the case with diagrams, right? It's not always diagrams when you're listening for detail. Sometimes it's the multiple choice. If it's a multiple choice, that's a different story.